Welcome back. I noticed this morning that there are some new bots on chess.com and I decided to play them. And something that I usually say at the end of my videos, but I should probably say more often at the beginning, is that I appreciate you spending your time here. Hopefully some of you lower rated players are getting something out of these videos, and I really appreciate those of you that are at my level or higher who have been helping me by pointing out things that I miss in the videos. If you're new to my channel, I'm not a titled player or chess coach like many other chess YouTubers. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess, and playing bots is one way that I do that sometimes. I'm just going to switch over here. I've noticed they have the Summer Martin, which I assume is a version of the Martin bot. Then there's the Summer Jimmy, the Summer Nelson, and the Summer Isabel. Now those last two might be difficult for me to beat. I'm going to start with the easy one because I've been on vacation for a few days and I need to ease back into this. I did keep up with my daily games and daily puzzles while I was gone, but I didn't do anything, serious or practicing analysis, anything like that for the past few days. Let's just get right to it. I'm going to choose the Summer Martin bot. I'm going to let the computer pick the colors and click play. And it looks like I got the white color, so let's start with C4, which is the English opening, and see what Summer Martin does. Okay, that's a normal response. I usually play knight to C3 against E5, and then that comes out. I play G3 in order to fianchetto my bishop. That I'm positive is a mistake, but I don't know how to punish it immediately. I think I should just go ahead and play normally for the time being since Summer Martin has wasted a move. I guess. I'm just not sure, but I know that can't be good, but it blocks in both the queen and the bishop. Okay, this pawn has moved forward. I think I can just take it. I don't think there's a downside to that. If Martin takes back, I can take the knight with my bishop and I'll just be up a pawn with the king exposed, I believe. I don't think that allows anything else. Neither one of the bishops can move right now. The queen can't move. Well, the queen could move over one, but I don't know why it would. So I don't think this is a trick or a trap. I think it's just another mistake. Okay, he did take back, so I will take, and I'm just one pawn ahead with their king misplaced. I can always bring this bishop back, but I don't know if I should. Should I instead get this pawn out, which directly attacks that pawn? And then if they push it forward, I don't know what I'll do. Guess if they push it forward, I could always move this pawn to attack it with my queen. Well, let's try this. Now I'm controlling more center squares with these pawns. Okay, the king has moved back, but the queen is now protecting the g-pawn, so I can't take it just yet, I don't think. But I can bring this bishop back. Again, not sure if that's the best plan, but it does, get out of the way of the e-pawn. Or should I bring it back just one? No, because that blocks the knight's normal development square. I think I'm going to bring the light squared bishop all the way back and then go about my normal development. Okay, we have a check over here, which I guess I'll have to block with my bishop because I'm not going to move the king over and I'm not going to block the check with my queen. So let's do this, and then we will take with the queen, assuming Martin takes. He did. Okay. And now Martin is shooting forward tons of pawns here. Because my queen has moved, I don't have the opportunity to check over here like I very often do if those two pawns moved. I mean, I could castle queenside at this point, but I don't know if that's a good idea. I want to develop the knight in castle, but both of these pawns are really advanced, so I'm not sure. Let's see, if I develop the knight and they push this pawn forward, I can always get the knight out of the way over here to h4. Or I could just check now. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. And if Martin blocks with the queen, I could just take it, and I would still be up a pawn with slightly more development. So maybe that's a good idea. Let's just go ahead and check here and see if Martin wants to trade off the queens. No, he did not. Now I can check with this bishop, and my queen will be cutting off this, and the bishop will be taking that whole diagonal, so that will leave Martin just a few moves here. And obviously, I think I would prefer that Martin chose g7 because then I would be able to check again with the queen. But again, I don't know if it's a good idea to bring the bishop out so suddenly and soon. But let's try it. Let's just check because they can't block that one. Okay, it came up here. Is it a good idea to bring the knight at this point? Because I still do want a castle, but putting the knight there keeps my bishop from coming back. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. They wouldn't be able to do anything like fork one of my pieces. Oh, but they could threaten the bishop, and it's running out of places to go. So no, I should not put the knight there because they would win my bishop for a pawn, I think. I think I want to move the queen over, which pins that pawn, but also gets out of the way of my e-pawn so I can develop the knight this way. Let's do that, and it does allow the bishop to retreat if it needs to. Yeah, they played the c6, which I thought they might. So let's bring this bishop back. They can't advance this pawn yet. Oh, but they advanced the other pawn. Okay. Well, let's throw the e-pawn. Ooh, I don't know about that because they can pen it with the rook. Let's just do the e-pawn once so I can get the knight out this way. Right? I don't think I'm worried about them taking here, especially with the knight out, because I can always take that with the knight. All the pawns. Okay. Martin is not interested in developing any of those 5 pieces. It's almost like Martin doesn't have those 5 pieces. And again, I don't know if I want a castle in front of all those pawns. You know what? I'm just going to move the king up and connect my rooks, and then I can not be afraid of moving these pawns here. Let's take that pawn this way. I would like it if Martin would move the b pawn, but Martin did not. Okay, the rook has come up 1 for reasons I can't understand. But now, because my knight is guarding the f5 square, I can just take here with check and see what Martin does. Martin has moved over 1, which is still protecting the rook. Either way, Martin would have been protecting the rook. And now if my knight could go there, I would be check again, but my knight can't. So I'm going to bring the queen back. Now I'm ahead 2 pawns. And now I can check here. Oh, I will check there and win the queen with the knight. Okay, and that's a check they have to take with the rook. Okay, oh, they didn't take with the rook, so I can take the rook with check. And now we are well on our way to winning this game. Okay, well, I can check again with the knight. But should I bring a rook? Or no, I should just take the bishop, and that makes this much easier. All right, and I cannot take that pawn with my queen because their knight is guarding, but I can take the rook since that b pawn moved, and the bishop's no longer protecting the b pawn. Okay, now let's see. We'll check with the queen here, protected by our own knight, and when the king moves, we'll bring the bishop back this way. This is check, and we're getting pretty close to mate, but it's not mate just yet. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what the fastest way to mate is. It might be coming in with the queen, but that would force the king up 1. But then I could check with the bishop. If I checked with the bishop at that point, then the king would only have 1 legal move. No. I think that would be mate, wouldn't it? Because if I check on f8, then my queen will be cutting off those squares, so that only leaves the 1 legal move. And then when I bring my bishop to e5, I think that's mate. So this is a mate in 2, I believe. Okay, took Martin a while to figure out where to go, and I think this is checkmate. Okay, and I did it in less than 30 moves. I do look at the move number because very often on these low-rated bots, I end up, winning easily, but it's like 50 moves or something. But in this case, it was less than 30 moves, which I appreciate. I'm not going to run the game review because since I've downgraded my account, I thought I would still have unlimited game reviews, but I don't. I only have 1 per day as if it was a free account. I still have unlimited puzzles and a few other perks with the low-end pro account, but I don't have unlimited game reviews anymore, which came as a little bit of a surprise. I apparently didn't read the fine print well enough. But I am going to use the analysis board, and I'll see if I ever went behind at any point. Okay, I ran quite a ways through this game with the analysis tool, and there wasn't any point at which I made a mistake or blunder. I was ahead the whole time, and I was correct that the king move early in the game by Summer Martin was a mistake. However, right here I misunderstood something because this was a double check when I took the queen. And I said something like, oh, they'll have to take with the rook, but they can't take with the rook because they're in check from the queen as well. So that part I didn't even notice. And here I have a mate in 7, it says, and I did mate 7 moves from there, but I don't know if I did it correctly or the best way. So let's just see. Here it says, yeah, I should have taken the rook. Okay, I did. Now it says mate in 4, but they played here, so I have a mate in 2. Oh, okay, I missed this. I should have checked with the knight here, and that would have forced the king over, and I would have had mate. Okay, so I did miss a mate in 2 here, but my second best move was to take the bishop. That was not one of their best moves. Now I have a mate in 2 again, and I should not have taken the rook. I should have just played bishop to d5, which sets up the mate here. Well, I missed that because I saw the free rook, so okay. g4, again, was not their best move, and again, I should have played bishop to d5, but I played here instead. King moved over. Now I played bishop to d5 check because it was a check. I didn't see earlier it wasn't a check, so I wasn't even thinking about it. The king had to move over. Okay, now I had a couple of different mates in 2s here. I could have played queen to f7, and then it didn't matter what they played. I would have had mate there, but I did find the other mate in 2, which was queen to f8 in here and bishop to e4. Okay, so I did okay. I didn't play the absolute best move every time. In fact, there was a whole section after Martin started pushing all these pawns over here. There was about 7 moves in a row where it said I should have played h4 and I didn't. But the move that I did play was always my second or third best move, and it wasn't that much worse. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the next bot and see how that goes. All right, this one is Summer Jimmy, rated 675, and it says Jimmy is the self-proclaimed coolest chess player in town. Can you handle the heat? Well, I live in Texas. If I can't handle the heat, then maybe I need to move. I will choose Jimmy and let the computer choose the colors and click play. I got the black pieces this time. We're going to have a Caro-Kann defense because it's the only response to e4 that I've really put any effort into studying. And we play d5 and see what Jimmy does. Will Jimmy take? Oh, Jimmy has advanced. This is the advanced variation, which used to be very scary to me, but I've done okay against it. Okay, that's always an option, and I'm pretty sure I block this with the knight here, because if I block with the bishop or the knight there, I think they can advance the e-pawn one more time, and I have to take with the f-pawn. So I will block this with the knight. If Jimmy takes, I'll take back here. He did take. Well, I kind of have to take back there. Now, what? I think I had seen the previous position before the queen move, and I'm pretty sure most of my opponents go ahead and capture there, but here the queen has come down. It looks like it's aiming at f7. Should I just play g6 to threaten the queen and block that attack? And then that also allows me to fianchetto here? Or should I check? Well, checking actually would make more sense if they had taken this pawn. But they didn't take the pawn, so checking really doesn't accomplish anything. They'll block with the bishop, then I'll have to move my queen again. So I think I'm going to play g6, but I have no idea. Or the computer might end up saying I should play e6 here. I don't know. I'm going to play g6 and see what the engine, I meant to say, see what the bot does. The bot has brought its queen back, so I think, should I fianchetto here? Or should I play e6 to keep that pawn from moving any further? Oh no, I realized my last turn I made a mistake. The engine is going to count that as a mistake afterward because I should have taken the d-pawn. The queen gave up defending the d-pawn. I should have just taken it. Okay. But now if I take it, they'll take back, and they'll be pointing here through this pawn. Okay, so now I think I have to fianchetto, don't I? And now I can take this, I think. Nope. What? I think they're still planning on pushing here, but I can block it now. Yeah, I'm going to keep the light squared bishop over here. I'm going to play e6, and I'll have to get the knight out this way. Right now, it looks like. Wait, nope. That bishop's not defended. I made this mistake in a 10-minute rapid game against a human not too long ago. They gave me the bishop, and I just blocked. But here, I'm pretty sure I can take it. Let me make sure that's not a trap. If I take this, can they check me? They can't check me there or any other way. That's just a free bishop. Yeah, I've got to pay a little bit more attention to those. Okay, the queen has come out again, but again, it has quit defending the d-pawn. Sorry, somebody has sent me a 3-minute challenge. I'm in the middle of something, sir, or ma'am, so I'm not going to be able to accept that challenge right now. I could check them on the back rank because I am supposed to start looking for checks at some point. But in that case, they can just block with the queen, but then I could take the queen and they would take back and I'm a piece ahead. Let's see, what else can they do if I check there? They could just move out of check, but then I could take this pawn with check. If I check and they block with the queen on d1, I could just take. They would have to take back, I think. Then I would get this pawn and pretty soon after get the next one. Should I do that? Let's do it. Let's check down here. Oh, he's just moved out of check. Okay, then I'm going to take the c-pawn. Now he can block with the knight. But now I can take the next pawn here, I think. I don't think that's a trap because, yes, they can move over protected by the knight, but then I will get the d-pawn as well. Let's do that, I think. Because the rook kind of has to move, or no, it doesn't. Oh, they just gave me the queen for free. That's a free queen, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to take it. And now they need to move the rook. They did, okay. And now I can take the d-pawn safely, I'm pretty sure. Let's take it. And I am threatening the check here by taking the e-pawn, so I will also take that. This is a check. They have to do something. They've blocked with the knight, which is now just free, so I will take it. And I'm threatening down here. Jimmy did not move to protect it. However, if I take it, all they have to do is move the knight, and then the rooks are protecting each other. But then I will get that pawn too. And I think I'm doing all right. Let's try it. The knight did come out, but it came here where it's free. Should I take the pawn first with check and then take the knight? I think I should. Let's take as many pieces as possible. And take the knight with check. Yeah, let's do that. See where the king goes. It went there. My bishop is protecting this square, so I could check there with my queen. If I had moved my e-pawn a little further, I could check with the light squared bishop. But you know what? Checking here just makes them, I think, forces them back where they were. That doesn't help me that much right now. I think I'm just going to take that other pawn and develop another piece, because I'm going to need some more pieces coming here in a second, because I can't checkmate with just the queen, especially against 2 rooks like that. Okay, well, I'll check down here then and see where the king goes. It gave me the rook. I'll take it. And now I am threatening this check, which leaves the king only 2 legal moves. Or I could just take the rook with check. I almost missed that. Wow. Okay, that's a check. And now let's see. I don't want them to get a stalemate here, but if I put my bishop on c3, the king would only have 1 legal move, but the pawn could also move. So I think this is good. I'm threatening mate. Let's see how the king's going to get out of this. It's going to try that way. Think I can check here and it'll force the king around. Oh, I could also go back, but that would be mate. So if I check on d2, the king comes over to b3. Then I check on b2, and the king has to go over to a4, and then I have mate. So we're going to do a little ring around the bishop here. Okay, it went that way. So now it has to go over to a4, and this is checkmate. That was 28 moves, so 1 move less than the previous game. This one, it says here on this immediate run that there were some blunders and mistakes, but I don't know if they were mine or the bots. But again, I am guessing that when I missed the d-pawn, that's probably counted as a mistake. All right, I stopped my analysis here just to show that this, the engine says that my best move here was bishop to d7. But I thought if I did that they would, oh no, of course they wouldn't push the pawn forward because the bishop was free. Okay, see, I had a problem in this game missing free pieces. If I had played bishop to d7, it says that they would take it and I would take back. Yeah, why in the world? Remember, because I said something about that, I would have to take with my f-pawn. That doesn't make any sense. I would just take the bishop. But if I did take the bishop, then they would take my f-pawn with the pawn. I would be a piece ahead, but then they could follow that up with a check. I don't know. So I played my second best move in this position. And it wasn't their best move to take. So now we're very near even, which is unusual on move 5 of the Caro-Kann defense. And there, I'm guessing, yes, I should have taken the pawn or checked. Okay. Actually, well, the computer was having a hard time deciding which one was best, but now it's settled on e6 as my second best move and taking the pawn as my best move. Okay, so a couple of turns later, I did catch that, but I played g6 here, and that took away most of what little advantage I had, and it was their best move to go all the way back. And again, I could have checked or taken that pawn. Well, it took its time to think about it, but bishop to g7 was my third best move. Okay, and my only question is, did I ever go behind after this? Okay, I was ahead the whole rest of the way, but here I didn't make the best move. Here I went ahead and took pawns because I was going, because I fell back on my old plan of what I used to call CPR, continuous piece removal, that once I have an advantage and there are pieces for the taking, it's just easier to win. You don't have to calculate as much if you just start taking your opponent's pieces and pawns when you can. And I think I did that by habit without really thinking about it, but here it says I could have checked with bishop to h6 instead of taking the g-pawn. And it says if I had played that, they would have blocked with f4, and I would have just taken it. Would that have been their only move? Surely not. And then they would have had to have gone back to king to d1. Okay, I'm going to follow out that sequence here. Okay, f4 is their best move, it says. King to d1 is what I would have expected a human to play in that position. Then I would have checked, I would have not taken the rook, even though the rook's okay, but it's not my best move. See, in this position, I definitely would have taken the rook, but my best move is queen to d3. So my queen's cutting off all of these and my bishop's hitting there, so that leaves only one legal move. And then I wouldn't check here with my queen, I would check there with my bishop. And they can't go there because of my queen, so they would have to go in front of this bishop. And then I would drop the bishop back, bishop to b4, leaving the king only one legal move, and that would be mate. Oh, wow, I don't know. Or bishop to c3, either one. Or bishop to a5, any of those squares, because that would have continued cutting off e1. It would have forced the king over and I would have had mate here. Okay, well, I did not see that, so I took the pawn, which took away my mating sequence. Oh, nope, we're back to a mating sequence. It's just a much longer one. Okay, but that wasn't the best move, and yes, this was my best move. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and try the next one. The next bot is the 1400 rated Summer Nelson bot. Now, I believe the regular Nelson bot is 1300. Or 1200, is it? I don't remember for sure. I know that as I was trying to improve at chess a year or two ago, I had trouble beating the Nelson bot at first, but eventually I got to the point where I beat him consistently. But I don't know about this 1400 rated Summer Nelson bot. It said Nelson is back with new clothes and stronger opening knowledge. Watch out for his queen. That's the thing with Nelson, is he almost always brings his queen out very early, like move 2 or 3. But we'll see what happens here. I am going to choose that bot. And I just, in case you haven't been around the channel for a while, I don't always beat 1400 rated bots. 14 and 1500 has been my limit recently. And there's still one 1300 rated bot, the Ven bot, that I do not beat consistently. So let's just try. I gave you fair warning that I might not win this, but we'll see what happens. I got the black pieces. Okay, Summer Nelson plays differently than regular Nelson. I don't think I've ever seen this from regular Nelson. The Kadas, or the Kadis opening. Should I respond with h5 or should I play in the center? I don't know. I'm going to play h5. That might be really bad. Okay, that can't be good either, can it? Now I think I play in the center. But do I want to play a d4 opening or an e4? I don't know. What about a c4? Or c5, sorry. Let's see what Nelson does against this. We're going to just trade a pawn in the middle. Okay, well, I've taken one of Nelson's center pawns, and now his queen's coming out, right? It is. All right. I think I should immediately attack the queen with this knight. It has dropped back one. Okay. And I think I should get this knight out as well. I think. Or should I put a center pawn up? I really don't know. Let's get both knights out, see what Nelson does. I was expecting e4. Well, then I'm going to play d5. Or wait. Should I get my my dark squared bishop out? I'm going to play e5 and see what Nelson does. Now I can get this dark squared bishop out and castled. We've got the knight coming here, which is attacking that defended pawn. I can push the pawn one, and then I expect the queen to move at that point. What is Nelson setting up? Let's see. What does this do? That's what okay, this is what I've been failing to check with my human opponents, is why did they move what they moved? Instead of asking, can I still do what I wanted to do? What this knight does looks like is aiming in here at d6, which is a check. So I'd either have to move the king, which is, I'm sure, a bad idea, or I would have to take it with my bishop, and then that would set their queen in here. So I think what I have to do is play d5 now, because now that's not an option. And the knight moving has to, okay, that works for me. And now the d pawn is defended twice, and they're only attacking it twice. So I think it's okay, and I think I'm safe to play e4. I'm going to play e4, which threatens their queen. It moved over there, which, okay, that pawn is still defended. I think now I want to develop my dark squared bishop. No. They're still attacking this pawn. And then putting my bishop on d6 removes a defender of it. And I'm pretty sure I don't want to push the pawn, because that would force the knight. Oh, no. For some reason, I was thinking the knight could go here, but the knight cannot go to g5 right now. That would be a great spot for it because of where their queen is, but it can't get there. But I don't think I want to push that just yet. But I definitely don't want to block my queen from defending it. But I do want to move that bishop. Let's see. I'll just put it on e7 and then prepare to castle, depending on what Summer Nelson play. Okay, Summer Nelson has castled over here. Should I castle, knowing that these pawns can start launching immediately? Well, the f4 pawn can't launch immediately. And no, neither can that one, because I have stuff guarding those squares. I think I'm going to castle, because Stockfish would probably tell me to, even though I don't like to castle in the face of these attacks. All right, well, now a question is, do I push forward to attack the knight, or do I take the pawn, which lets their queen in? I'm going to attack the knight and see where it goes. Maybe it'll go over here and I'll trade off for it. Oh, it went back. Let's see. If I push forward, they're going to take with the pawn, which allows their bishop to guard d3. If I play here, though, they're also going to take with the pawn. Well, you know what? What about developing my last piece? You know what? That lets them take the b pawn, though. I don't like that. I was thinking about going here to line up with the queen, but that undefends the b pawn. Should I push the b pawn? Should I protect the b pawn? No, I don't think so. Oh, wait. I would get their bishop. This attacks the queen, defends the b pawn, but I also want to develop the bishop, but I don't think I can right now. Should I play queen up here so that protects the pawn? Maybe that's it. Let's do that, and then I can develop this bishop over here to e6. They're coming for that. Okay. I think that's okay. I'm going to get this bishop out, aiming for that pawn. Okay, they took one of my pawns because I left it undefended, but I can take back, which threatens their queen, but then they'll take with the rook. Should I take them or let them take me? If they take me, I probably end up with not doubled, but an isolated pawn here, unless I take back with the queen. If I do something else and they take me, I could take with the queen. I think that's okay. I'm still defending the b pawn. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to take their knight. They're going to take back, and then Nelson will be a pawn ahead. But I am defending the bishop, so I think I can put this knight safely over here for a second. Now, their bishop's defended, though. What about putting the knight back on h7, which double attacks the bishop? And then they'll take mine, and I'll take back, I think. Okay, I assumed they would take there, and now let's see what Summer Nelson will do. Summer Nelson has moved his king. All right. My queen is still protecting the b pawn. Nothing's attacking the a pawn. So should I bring my rook over to c8, which puts, multiple attackers there? I think. Let's try that. I don't think there's a big problem with that. The queen has moved over there where I can take it. Maybe Nelson was hoping I wouldn't notice because that sometimes happens to people at our level. I mean, they're a pawn ahead, but me taking here doubles the pawn and exposes their king, and then I can still take this. And I just now realized if they'd left their queen there, they had 2 defenders on that. But yeah, I'm going to take the queen, and then I'm going to take this pawn with my bishop, like so, which is protected by my rook. Okay. I'm not sure why the king came forward, but now we are even on material, and I think I should defend this bishop with the pawn in case I need to move the rook. Wait. Just realized that pawn's undefended. I think first I should defend that pawn. Ooh, should I defend the pawn here or with the knight? I want to put the f pawn on f5 and then put my knight behind it, I think. That way they can't take this pawn immediately. Okay. Well, let's put the knight behind it. Like I said, if they take, I guess I take. Oh, they didn't. Okay. What are we getting into now? Getting into all sorts of mess here. Guess I should take that, and then I don't have to worry about it getting taken anymore. Let's try that. And they'll take back with the knight because this would have given up their bishop. Okay. But now I can plant my knight in here, which is a nice comfy spot for it, isn't it? But then they can plant their knight in there the same way. Okay, I'm going to do it. And then I can threaten their bishop this way. Oh, that's tricky. I think I take the bishop, otherwise I'm going to lose mine. Let's take the bishop, but they're going to put the rook there. I can threaten the rook, but then it just moves. But from e3, my knight would be guarding this spot, but it's not a mate or anything. I guess I can take there, and then when they move the knight, I get their rook. Oh no, they're going to go this way. You know what? Why not? Let's do that. Oh, they can just take this. Excellent. What can we do here? And what can they do? What they can do is come down to the to the 7th rank and threaten these undefended pawns. So should I defend the 2nd rank now? 7th rank, I apologize. Maybe that's what I should do. I should defend the 7th rank, I think. That way these pawns aren't in danger from their rooks yet. Oh, okay, wow. Guess I should take that. And then when they take back, I'll check here and defend the 7th rank again. And now I think my king's going to be okay. Oh, no, not when they do that. Oh, I'm in danger of being checkmated because their knight's guarding those 2 squares. So I have to play, I think I have to play g7 or bring the knight back, or both. Let's bring the knight back, which that prevents them from checking down here. They've moved, okay, but they can still check down here, and they're probably going to start pushing pawns, I'm guessing. No, surely they wouldn't push that one. Okay, well, I need to be careful, and I cannot move my king here, so I think I need to go ahead and play g6 now and get my king up here. No, then they'll fork me. Okay, well then I don't want my rook to be there. What do I want my rook? Because maybe I should bring my rook back, but then they come in here. Okay, maybe I should start pushing these pawns then. And also, what are they going to play next? That doesn't help them a lot, I don't think. Or are they going to try to trade off the rooks? I don't know, but I know my knight is safe right now. I know I'm not in danger of being mated just yet. So I'm going to push the A pawn and then maybe the B pawn. Okay, threatening the rook, which is fine because I was thinking about dropping it back anyway to prevent mate. Okay, and now the rook can't get to the 7th rank, and if it did, I could push a pawn. Oh, they're trying to come in like this. Think I would be okay with that. And also now I can get out this way. So let's go ahead and push the B pawn like I said. And trade the rooks. Is that the best plan? Yes, because when they take back, I'm going to get... Yes, when they take back, I'm going to check on e5 with my knight, and I will get that G pawn like so, right? Check, and then I get this pawn. Oh, but they're going to get one of mine. Ooh, that's sneaky. I need to start bringing my king now. Oh, they wanted to go that way, I guess. Let's go here, see where the knight goes. I assume it's going to go over there. It did not, but it is attacking that pawn, which is currently defended. So I think I'll just go ahead and defend it, and then maybe come this way. Oh no, they're gonna get that pawn, but maybe I can get their A pawn. No, I'm gonna get their H pawn with my knight. Like so, and now I have 2 passed pawns, and I can give up the knight. Oh, they've given up their knight. Okay. Well, I will give up my knight for their passed pawn over there. Let's see. This is a check. And then I will go here, which protects that square. Okay. Let's see. I need to get in front of that pawn or sacrifice for it. Can I do that? Or would they be able to stop me? Should I bring my king? Or should I push my pawn? Let's see. If I push my pawn, if I play h4 and they play a5, then I will check them and win the pawn. Okay. Oh, they didn't. Okay. They came for my knight. So if I go to protect the knight and they push the pawn, then I wouldn't have that opportunity. Okay, let's go here. I'm still trying to get that pawn, but they're going to come from... Okay, I'm just going to take it with check and then I win. They can have my knight if they want. I'm going to go get a queen. And I have won this game. Let's check here and see where the king goes. We'll try to trap it on the back rank. I mean, in this case, looks like the side rank is where we're going to go with it. Okay, and then we bring our king and we will we'll just checkmate the normal way. And whichever way the king goes, we'll checkmate here. All right, once again, I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to go through and see if I made any major errors in this game. Well, apparently I made a major error on move 1. Here, I should not have played h5 to stop their h4 pawn, at least according to Stockfish. It says d5 or e5 would have been far better, and knight to f6 would have been almost as good as those two. So when I played h5, it put the advantage back. That was a full point swing from minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. But then, when Nelson played knight to a3, it went back to minus 0.5, and here I should have played d5 or e5 or knight to f6, but instead I played c5, which wasn't horrible. And apparently here on move 15, I made another mistake. This is where I dropped my knight back to h7. The engine says I should have played b5, and I was up minus 4. Oh, because that pawn is pinned. But wait, wouldn't they have just taken it with their queen? It says no. It says they would have moved over one. Why wouldn't they have taken it with their queen? I'm curious. If I had played b5, because I didn't see that this pawn was pinned, I didn't think about that. Why wouldn't they just take it? What would that have done? I would have moved this rook over, and then they would have just gotten out of the way, and then I would have come over here lining up with that, but then they would have dropped back to defend that. Okay, so I don't know why b5 was so good, because it looks like it doesn't lose them anything. In fact, it would have lost me a pawn. And I guess that opens up a line for my rook, but they're very easily able to defend their b-pawn with multiple pieces. They also could move their king over and bring back their bishop to defend that pawn. So I really don't understand why b5 was so great, but it says knight to g4 was my next best move, and they would have played knight to h3, and I wouldn't have taken their bishop at that point. I would have played e3, which is here. Well, I probably would not have. Okay, so yeah, I don't get knight to g4 either. Or bishop to c5. Okay, now I think I do understand bishop to c5. It threatens the rook. They wouldn't move the rook. They would defend it. Really, if I played here, it says that they would play e3. It's their best move, and their second best move is to take the knight. But it's not a good idea to move the rook because why? This is their third best move, because I will play this, which is defended 3 times, and it says that they wouldn't take it probably. They would play rook to c2, but they might take it. Okay, well, let's say they took it. Then I would play knight to e4, which forks these 2 pieces, but then that would be by far my best move, and they would let me have the rook, but I wouldn't take it. They would play knight to f3, and I wouldn't take the rook. I would play b5. Well, even if I had found then a couple of those top 3 moves in this position, I would have messed up. That's the lesson here. If I had played any one of those top 3 moves, and if my opponent had responded with one of their better moves, I would not have found the next top move. So this makes more sense to me because it immediately forces this issue. And it is their best move to take, which they did, and I took back, and we're even now. Again, they're supposed to play e3 to defend the rook, but instead they moved the queen over, and it was one of my 2 best moves to take it. But it was better to just move over, and it says if I played queen to f6, they would defend the rook with e3. And then I would take on f2, threatening the bishop. And they would have to drop the rook back down to defend the bishop. Wow, okay. So I'm not just threatening the rook, I'm threatening f2. Okay. But this was my second best move, and it wasn't bad. Was I ahead from here on out? But f5, which is what I played, was not one of the moves here. I should have come over and threatened the rook trade again. And it says they would have taken it. Why wouldn't they have taken the free pawn? What? Okay, I clearly don't understand chess. If this is the best move, and I would not expect them to take the pawn, I would expect them to trade off the rook. Yeah, I do not understand chess. Knight to f6 is what I considered, but then I thought, well, that's blocking my f-pawn, and they would just take this. But it says that they wouldn't. All right, well, I was worried that they would, so that lost most of my advantage, but that gave it all back because I can play rook to f6. Well, I don't know what rook to f6 does. I wanted to put my knight there because that's the only place I could put my knight. Oh, I guess if I moved my rook there, I could put the knight behind it. Okay. Knight to e4 would have been better than knight to g4. Okay, I do understand that. That's an outpost square closer to the center of the board. Whereas I went over this way, which kind of, gets close to the corner. I do understand knight to e4, but what's bishop to d5? That's here. Oh, pinning the knight to the rook. Okay. But they just would have moved the rook over, it says. And then I would have moved up and put a bishop on this outpost. I understand that too, I think. Or rook f to e8 is my best move, but I don't know why. All right. So that wasn't good. That wasn't good. This wasn't good. My best move there was taking that pawn. Oh, because the knight's undefended. But it just would have moved. It says no. They would have taken my bishop. Wait, what? It says if I had taken this pawn, they would have taken my bishop and I would have taken back with the rook. And they would have taken with the rook. And chess.com hasn't yet fixed this where the line expands, so you can't expand the line to see what the next thing would have played. That's what those arrows are supposed to be for. But chess.com broke this a few weeks ago and they never did anything about it. So I don't know why that would have been a good idea to give away 2 pieces for that. Yeah, I don't know. And then it was my best move to... Oh, the free knight. I missed it. Oh my goodness. Only move in this position. I missed the free knight. I checked instead. Now we're dead even until, let's see. Keeps us even. Where's their mistake then? Even. Oh, they gave away the knight. That was their best move. Wow. So this went all the way down to the wire until they gave away their knight for no reason. I thought I was ahead here because I had the 2 pawns. And I thought I was going to be able to get the knight out of the way and start advancing that one. And then I could advance this one. And I thought I would make it. But apparently I was wrong. We were going to end up drawn until they gave away their knight. Okay, well, I'm glad I won. I wish I had played this one better, but I didn't expect to win this one. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.